Let me call to order this meeting of the Community Redevelopment Agency of the City of West Palm Beach. The date is Monday, April 14th, 2025, and the time is 4:01 p.m. And we will start with comments from the public. Do we have any cards? No cards. Okay. We'll go around the dais. Madam President, do you have any comments?
No comments, Mayor. Thank you.
Commissioner Peduzzi, any comments?
No comments, Mayor.
Commissioner Ward,
No comments. Thank you, Mayor.
Commissioner Warren, comments?
No comments.
All right. Mr. Rugg, are there any additions, deletions, reorganization of the agenda?
No, Mayor.
All right. We will start now with item 6.1, presentation on March nights in Northwood Village. Recap.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Commissioners. I am Stephanie Swimmer. I am the Communications Coordinator with the West Palm Beach CRA, and I will be doing a presentation recapping the March nights in Northwood Village. During this presentation, we will go over the event background and goals, the CRA project information, event activities, as well as the marketing and advertisement that went into the event and the survey results from the event. A little bit of background information for the event. This event happens quarterly. The last one, again, was Friday, March 14th, located in Northwood Village, centrally located on Northwood Road specifically. The goals of the event is to celebrate, the goal of this event was to celebrate the many cultures in Northwood Village, to raise area awareness, to support the local businesses, as well as a CRA platform to talk about the CRA projects and to collect community feedback. The CRA information, project informations, we spoke about the Spruce, the district, as well as Curry Park. Amongst the tables, we did have QR codes that gave people an opportunity to do the CRA, to sign up for the CRA newsletter, as well as do the event survey and for the Curry Park activation. The different events that we had shopping and dining. West Palm Beach Food Tours did start a pilot food tour called Taste of Northwood Village. It is exclusively only during nights in Northwood Village for now. Once the pilot is a success, it's projected to either be on a monthly basis or even a weekly basis, just depending on what West Palm Beach Food Tours can do. They originally wanted to sell 50 tickets. They ended up selling almost 100 tickets. And we did have one grand opening of Soulmates Records music store. These are the different examples that went into the paper marketing for the event. We also did digital marketing. We put our event on Eventbrite, the Discover the Palm Beaches. We did radio ads, as well as have it on several different newsletters and several different websites, including the city and Northwood Village website. Here are different examples of our social media campaign, the countdown campaign, as well as the meta ad. Here are just the different numbers that from the result of our social media marketing and meta ads. Going over our survey results, we did have 27 surveys submitted. We took the advice of the mayor and actually made the surveys available on the Eventbrite page. So as people were getting information of the event, they could go ahead and start filling out the survey as well. So on average, the participants were 40 to 49. For the visitation, on average, the participants were visiting once a month, and the reason for that is because on average people said they had a lack of knowledge of or familiarity to the area. This is based off of CRA familiarity and community feedback. On average, people didn't know about either the CRA or the Northwood Village projects, but wanted to know more. And the majority of the participants wanted to see mixed-use projects in the area. We did have 42 new CRA newsletter subscribers, and the majority of the participants did say that they learned about the event via social media. Our next Nights in Northwood Village will be Friday the 13th in June, and the theme will be a tropical paradise. And I am available for questions.
Very good. Thank you for that presentation. Any questions, comments, board members? Commissioner Ward?
Just a comment. I appreciated the work that was put in. I think the setup is working, and I'm pleased to see that there were a lot more people in attendance. And obviously, I know that had to do with the timing of the last event, but thank you very much.
Of course.
President Lambert?
Thank you. I concur with those comments. Thank you so much for putting on such a great event. And I just wanted to comment regarding some of the survey responses that, people are saying they're not familiar and they would like more information. I'm seeing that in some of our neighborhood surveys that are going out as well. And I would just love for us to find opportunities to help educate in a fun and engaging way that people might remember.
Yeah, absolutely. Just something I did want to add. Because we did partner with West Palm Beach Food Tours, we actually gave them event bags, and inside the bags were more information about the CRA. So that was just another opportunity for us to engage with the community.
Good. Any other questions, comments? As for the messaging familiarity, we just have to remain persistent and consistent. It's just going to take time, and I think as we get that area activated with some of the projects coming online, hopefully that will help, but we just got to keep chipping away at it. Appreciate your efforts.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for that presentation. Item 7.1, consent calendar. Commissioners, board members, any questions, comments on consent? If not, I will entertain a motion.
Mayor, I move approval of the consent calendar.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Discussion. Hearing none. All those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. All those opposed, like sign. Hearing no opposition, motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Item 8.1, resolution number 25-13, authorizing publication of a 30-day notice of intent to dispose of Community Redevelopment Agency property located at 519 L.A. Kirksey Street as required by Section 163.3803A, Florida statutes, seeking proposals for development of affordable housing on the property.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Commissioners. Kelsey King, CRA Project Manager, presenting the Notice of Intent to Dispose for the location at 519 L.A. Kirksey through Resolution 25-13. So on today's agenda, I'll provide a quick overview, a history of the subject site, the submission process, and the timeline, and then we'll end with board questions. So the subject site is outlined in blue, indicated by the star. It is nestled between Spruce Avenue to the east and the FEC Railroad tracks to the west. It sits directly on L.A. Kirksey Street or 15th Street. The lot was purchased in 2006 by the agency. It is approximately just 0.14 acres and just over 6,000 square feet. Its current use is designated as vacant as there's no structure that sits on the lot, and the zoning is MF14 or multifamily low density. So the agency is looking for proposals from developers or businesses that are passionate about increasing affordable increasing homeownership through affordable housing. And by Section 163.383A, the agency is required to publish a 30-day notice of intent to dispose before moving forward with any proposals. The notice should include a pre-qualified list of eligible home buyers. They need to be able to emphasize innovative construction design through high quality and sustainable solutions, and they need to also be able to demonstrate the prioritization of economic growth and revitalization for the community. It is set to be published in the Palm Beach Post and the CRA website pending approval, and then after 30 days, staff will present proposals to the board for consideration. And with this, goals achieved through this in Pleasant City are Goal 1, or is Goal 1, which is to improve and create development projects on vacant lots. And with that, I'll take any questions from the board.
Thank you for that presentation. Any questions, Commissioner Warren?
Thank you. Will there be any parameters set on values of the homes that they can build and sell, or what are we looking at
Yes,
for price?
Commissioner Warren. So there are supposed to be values set on it. So for affordable housing, we're looking at a 60 to 100% AMI level for the purchase price of the home.
Do we know if we're looking at a range, I guess fair market being 400,000?
Right, correct. So it would be, so construction costs would be around 400,000, and then with land donation and other subsidies, it would subsidize that cost to be around like a $300,000 purchase price.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments, board members? If not, I'll entertain a motion. Oh, okay. Commissioner Warren, follow up.
Thank you. So we haven't identified any prospective developers. Those would be people that are responding to us and coming. So we haven't sought to work with any of the people that are working specifically in this industry.
Correct. So what triggered this notice of intent to dispose was that we received an unsolicited proposal, but we have not indicated that we're moving forward with it, and therefore we have to put this out, but we have not identified a partner to work with so far.
Thank you.
Any other questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I move approval of resolution number 25-13.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. All those opposed, like sign. Hearing no opposition, motion carries unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 8.2, resolution number 25-14, authorizing publication of a 30-day notice of intent to dispose of Community Redevelopment Agency property located at 401 Division Avenue, as required by Section 163.3803A, Florida statutes, seeking proposals for affordable housing on the property, and resolution number 25-15, authorizing publication of a 30-day notice of intent to dispose of Community Redevelopment Agency property located at 639 4th Street, as required by Section 163.3803A, Florida statutes, seeking proposals for affordable housing on the property, and resolution number 25-16, authorizing publication of a 30-day notice of intent to dispose of Community Redevelopment Agency property located at 631 6th Street, as required by Section 163.3803A, Florida statutes, seeking proposals for affordable housing on the property.
Thank you, Mayor and Commissioners. Gina Baker, for the record, Project Manager for the Historic Northwest. So this is sort of a repeat, except it's in a different section of the city. It's in the Northwest versus the Northwood. Our aim is to give you a quick overview of where the properties are located, review the notice of intent to dispose, give you a general timeline, and take any questions you might have. The properties indicated on the screen are 401 Division Avenue, 631 6th Street, and there's another property at 634 7th Street, although it's notated 401 Division. So the first one is 401 Division. It's located at the corner of Division and 3rd Street. It's a vacant lot. It's part of a portfolio that this agency acquired sometime back in 2010. We are now looking to offload these properties to an interested developer for affordable housing reasons. In fact, as you all know, we have a shortage of that, so we're aiming to try to meet that objective. Again, this property is located across from Friendship Baptist Church, and it's in close proximity to a project we're doing called Fantasy Island. So we hope that we'll have some occupants that will frequent both of those locations. The next one is at 639 4th Street. That's across from St. Patrick's Episcopal Church and about a block away from Fantasy Island. So that too will be another infill opportunity for affordable historic homes. And then the last one is at 631 6th Street. That's located just in from Sapodilla, but it's directly adjacent to the wonderful Styx Promenade. Actually, it butts right onto that property. As you know, the notice of intent to dispose is required by Florida statute, so we will be putting in a local circular for the next 30 days. And this is a projected timeline. We will publish that notice today or tomorrow. It will stay in the paper for about 30 days. We hope the deadline will end around May 20th, and then we'll review those proposals and bring them back to you for selection. And hopefully a recommendation to the board by June 9th with the purchase and sale agreement executed on or before July 7th. Be happy to entertain any questions.
Thank you for that presentation, Commissioner Ward and Commissioner Warren. President Lambert. Commissioner Ward.
I'm curious, I obviously know affordable housing is necessary, and we look at different areas to promote that. I'm wondering if we're looking at anything long-term about when we'll be able to see more market rate opportunities within this area. And I only just ask that because I don't want this to continue to be the only area for affordable housing. I'm noticing that in some other areas, and you want to continue to, create variety within an area. So I'm just curious if we're looking at that at all.
Well, it's actually, Commissioner, the short answer is we are looking at market rate primarily in a lot of our historic preservation projects. We have a couple of single-family homes, excuse me, that are going to be quite expensive to fix up to the historical standards. And then after you fix up the historic homes, a lot of them require quite a bit of substantial maintenance to just take care of. And generally, those two items don't really lend themselves to affordability. So I think if we are going to do any kind of market rate opportunities, it'll probably come from some of the historic homes that we'll refurbish initially, just in order to try to recoup some of the costs, as well as make sure that whoever goes in that home can maintain it long term. Outside of that, we can look at some of the additional lots that we have and see how we want to target any kind of market rate in some of our neighborhoods, and bring back some ideas at a later date.
Thank you.
And your instincts are very good, Commissioner Ward. We don't want these to just be low-income, affordable housing. Now, the interesting thing is a lot of these properties are in private hands, and so as the forces of the market take place, whoever acquires those properties will probably be doing something at market rate. So, but I think your instincts are spot on. Commissioner Warren?
Thank you. I noticed that in the previous resolution that it was for a single family or a small multifamily. And is there an opportunity for, because the lot sizes are comparable, is this simply zoned single family, or is it a possibility that it could be used for multifamily as well at these locations?
So yes, most of the lots in the historic Northwest are zoned residential, and some of them have what is called a commercial overlay. In this instance, that there is an opportunity to do what is called an ADU, accessory dwelling unit on the back. So we'll just see what the developer comes or prospective folks come forward with. But there's an opportunity to do that. To directly answer your question, no, it does not have an MF14 or MF20 designation. You can't do multi-units there.
Thank you.
May I also hit on two other things that Commissioner asked? So we will be looking for, as the proposals come in, we will be looking for the developer to have some pre-qual of people who would be recipients of those units. And more importantly, because this is a historic district, we're also going to be looking for their background and ability to make their way through our historic preservation process as well. And then finally, I believe 80 to 100% is our target for affordability.
President Lambert?
Thank you. She answered my questions. Thank you.
Great.
Okay, any other questions or comments? All right, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Mayor, I move to approve resolution number 25-14, resolution 25-15, and resolution 25-16.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Discussion. Hearing none. All those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. All those opposed, like sign. Hearing no opposition, motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Item 8.3, resolution number 25-22, authorizing the Third Amendment to Property Development Agreement and Ground Lease with Immacore Ventures, LLC, for the development of property known as the Anchor Site. Mr. Rue?
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners. Chris Rugg, Executive Director of the West Palm Beach CRA. So I've been handling this one with the developer, Immacore Capital, and Gilbert on this amendment. So it's been a little time since we've talked about the Anchor Site, or what's now known as the District at Northwood. And so I'm just going to do a quick overview of the project. We'll get into the construction, which is pretty much all image-based, some really great pictures to show you. Then we'll talk a little bit about the amendment details and happy to answer any questions that you may have at the end. So as a quick overview, this is Northwood Village, and the anchor site is just that. It's the site at the very west end of Northwood Village, meant to sort of anchor the commercial district with substantial residential and additional retail opportunities that would, again, sort of create, more vibrancy in the Northwood Village area. To the east is Curry Park. You can see how it's in very close proximity. The spruce is wedged in between, and then the ways north and south are US 1 and Broadway. Of course, Pleasant City Elementary is only a few blocks away for folks that just as a point of reference. And then, of course, to the just to the east is the Bright Line tracks that is used pretty frequently. So I wanted to take an opportunity just to remind the board sort of what the project would look like. The developer did a really great rendering video. So if you'll just sort of bear with me for about 60 seconds, it's a great overview of what the project will look like when it is complete. So that's essentially where 24th Street is currently. So if you remember, Pinewood was next to the tracks. That is currently Pinewood, and that's looking down Broadway. And that's the very west end of Northwood Road looking east. So it's a really great project that's been planned. It includes 3 mixed-use structures. So the main building, Building A, is what you're looking at in the photo. The project contains 382 rental units. As I mentioned, quite a bit of commercial space that'll add to the Northwood Village area. Our current agreement with the developer is a 50-year lease so it is CRA-owned land. And per the agreement, when the project is completed, it will include $174,000 plus the taxes that'll come plus the taxes that are generated out of the project, and that'll come back to the CRA. We did include a substantial public parking component, about 10% above what is required, and that was purposeful so that we could add some structured parking to the Northwood Village area. And this was signed, fully executed back in September of 2020. So here are some recent images of the project. You can see along the railroad tracks there, some of those pilings that are popping out of the ground. That is actually where the structured parking will be. And you can see how the Pinewood area, the street will go underneath the structure. Off in the distance, that is downtown West Palm Beach, and the Bright Line station that is over there just to the up and to the right a bit. Looking east, I thought this picture was really neat because it really shows sort of just how much Northwood Village is going to grow with the spruce that's just to the east of the anchor of the district at Northwood. As well as you can see a little bit down there is Curry Park. So really turning into just a cute little part of the city and just a great growth point of Northwood Village here. But they're getting very close to topping out, as you can see in this picture. So the amendment details concerning the agreement. So the construction financing for the project is going to be provided by Centennial Bank. And Centennial Bank has required specific changes to the lease agreement. And so the resolution today that you are considering approves the following changes. The bank is requiring an increase in the bonding for subcontractors doing $500,000 or more. They would like to modify the schedule in order to ensure that there's no hiccups there. So that does push out the completion date while they do anticipate finishing the project by September of 2026, because things happen, force majeure or otherwise. They are asking for about additional 6 months to the project. And then lastly, the bank does want to be noticed as an addition to the organizational structure. And so we do have an amendment to the organizational chart that sort of identifies that Immacorp mezzanine financing that will come as part of the changes to the lease. And so that change to the organizational structure looks like this. And so those yellow arrows identify the additions to the organizational structure so that it is just very clear where the financing is coming from. And you can see that Gilbert and his team is still very much in charge of the project and will be managing it, and there are no changes there. The mezzanine financing is essentially just that, it's construction financing to ensure that the project continues. So I had a chance to speak to the general contractor today, Hogan Contracting, and as you saw by the images, they're working on the construction now, so that's currently, they expect a topping out of that structure next month, which is really exciting. As I mentioned, there are 2 other buildings that are included, Building B and Building C, which are just to the south and east of this main structure in the picture. Those will begin this summer as well. And again, estimated completion is the fall of 2026. So, and one last note, Brian Seymour, who is with Immacorp, is with us today, in case there are any questions. But with that, Mayor, Commissioner, staff recommends approval of Resolution 25-22, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Mr. Rook, remind me, what are the price points for the residences there? Are they market rate or?
They will be market rate, although in the agreement, we did specify that some of the units need to be priced for firefighters and teachers and folks that are in the workforce.
Okay, all right, thank you. Commissioner Ward?
Thank you. This is somewhat off topic. Because the construction, did they tell you, or I know it's all in process, but is Broadway going to be open at any point throughout this, or is it going to continue to be closed in that area? Just because the merchants always ask.
Yes, I do know that they are working on Broadway, but I don't have the closure schedule for you, Commissioner, but I can get that for you to find out just what the if there's any additional or anticipated closures moving forward once they complete the main utility work. Okay. I can get that for you.
Thank you.
President Lambert?
Thank you. Just a comment that I'm grateful that you showed the rendering video. It's a very exciting project, and I can appreciate what they're asking for today, and glad to see this continuing to move forward so successfully.
Let me also say, and Mr. Seymour, you could take this back to your client. I commend them for really moving ahead. I mean, it's clear that they have persevered. I know it has not been an easy journey, but the building's going up. Better than we could say some other projects in the area. But anyway, the building is going up, and it seems like they are moving ahead. And this will be transformative for the Northwood area. It was a very ambitious project when they won the award, but I think that the benefits to that area are going to be significant. So please, Mr. Seymour, convey to your client that we're very appreciative of his hanging in there. I know it hasn't been easy, and I'm glad that he has found some financing that hopefully will get us over the finish line relatively soon. But this will be transformational for that area. Any other questions, comments? If not, I will entertain a motion.
I move approval of resolution number 25-22.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, like sign. Hearing no opposition, motion carries unanimously. And I'm sorry, Mr. Seymour, I didn't give you an opportunity to talk. If there's anything you'd like to say, you won, so.
Well, actually,
just throwing it out there.
I wanted to, I think it's worth thanking the CRA staff, Mr. Rugen, the staff. As you mentioned, Mr. Mayor, there's been some challenges. Gilbert has been moving forward. He's been putting his money into this, but he hasn't been doing this alone. Chris is constantly available. He's trying to work with other members of the team here at the city to make sure that things can keep moving and move forward. And I know that Mr. Benamu is incredibly grateful for Mr. Rugen, the staff there. So thank you all for that.
Thank you. And if there are any of the merchants in the area that under the sound of my voice, we know this has been tough for you all as well. We're trying to do everything we can to support you during this time of transition, but if you can hang in there until this is completed, I believe it will be of tremendous benefit to your businesses as well. So change is not easy, but this one is going to be a huge benefit. I believe that. Okay, thank you. Thank you. All right. Item 8.4, resolution number 25-23F, authorizing transfer of funds of $2,748,601 from reserve for future projects for the purpose of increases in administrative expenses associated with police wages, arbitrage rebate, professional services and grants associated with 415 Clematis project and 213 South Rosemary Avenue project, and purchase of property located at 5701 Broadway Boulevard.
Hello, Chair and board members. Jade Green, Deputy Director with the CRA. I'm here to go over 25-23F resolution over our mid-year budget adjustments. We'll do a quick overview. I'll go over all the recommended transfers for Fund 105 and 107, and then any questions that you guys have. Just a quick overview, 24-43 and 41 adopted the final estimate for revenue and expenditures for fiscal year 25. So now that we are 6 months into fiscal year 25, staff has identified some additional funding needs for some current projects and future projects anticipated for this year. First, Fund 105, our reserves for future projects has a starting balance of $4,539,338. Our first additional need is going to be, we need some additional funds for our innovative policing initiative associated with our bike unit and officers a part of that unit. We also have an arbitrage payment to clear. In our 415 Clematis project, as you guys know, we're hitting the ground running with our broker and identifying some lessees. We're recommending to allot an additional $1 million in anticipation for some of those additional brokerage fees. It's not to say we're going to use that full amount, but just to have it just in case, as we are anticipating a very high quality lessee to occupy that space.
Sorry, Mayor, if I may. The
Yes.
1 million is also for tenant improvement as well.
Yes.
So just to be clear.
Mm-hmm. The last is going to be 213 South Rosemary Avenue, also known as our future hibiscus project. And just to be clear, you guys will see an actual agreement coming to you in the next few months, but we wanted to get the money allotted as we're planning for the budget season. So this $750,000 will be a first half payment in partnership with Related, who will be doing a major historical preservation project there at the Hibiscus House. It's on the corner of Avenia and Rosemary, which is estimated at about over $10 million project. So this is just the first amount to use within this fiscal year, and we'll be budgeting next year for another amount as well. This equals a total transfer in the Fund 105 for $2,290,000.
That will leave a balance of $2,248,919. I also want to make a note that the original balance for Fund 105 at the $4 million amount was actually an anticipated amount that we weren't expecting after our carry forward and some TIF payments that we received back in November. So our reserves is higher than it was anticipated. Also, just to have a note, this is not a financial impact, but just a part of this F resolution. Also, with the 4115 project, we had a line for building and improvements, but finance made it clear to us that we weren't doing capital improvements ourselves, so to change that line to be a grant, labeled as a grant. It has no financial impact, though. Moving on to Fund 107. Okay. So this is a little confusing. I'll try to be as clear as possible. But our purchase for 5701, which has already occurred, had a line of credit associated with it that was not previously in our budget. So to clear up that accounting, they're moving that line of credit to reserves so we can clear up that accounting purchase and expense. So that will involve a transfer of $458,182 that was already a part of the line of credit. After that purchase is cleared, we will still have our balance of $799,575, which really is a balance of zero because that is all going to Curry Park. With that, the staff recommends to approve Resolution 2523F. Approving our mid-year budget adjustment, transferring that total amount of $2,748,601 from reserve for future projects for both Fund 105 and 107. I'm available for any questions.
Thank you very much for that presentation. Any questions, comments, board members? Mr. Rook, you had something to add?
Just anticipating any questions because I know
okay.
it can get a
You
little wonky with
you were about to
accounting.
say
So I just ready for questions. That's all, Mayor.
Now, the money that goes for the 415 Clematis, the $1 million, we'll get some of that back when we get a tenant in?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah, when it comes to the actual, if whatever we allocate to brokers, which those will all come back in the form of lease agreements that the board actually has to approve. Those will come back through lease payments that will actually come out of the tenant. So pay it forward a little bit, but we get it on the back end.
Very good. Thank you. If there are no questions or comments, I will entertain a motion.
I move approval of Resolution 25-23F.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Discussion. Hearing none. All those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. All those opposed, like sign. Hearing no opposition, motion carries unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you, Board.
And that is the final item on the CRA agenda. So this meeting is hereby adjourned. Thank you, everyone.